Hey all, this week we're talking about principle number 3 of intuitive eating, making peace with food.
Whoa! Huh! Yeah! What is it good for?
This means making peace with all foods.
I'm sorry, what now?
We're talking about the concept of making peace with all foods, making no foods bad or off limits.
Well, except for junk food, right? I should avoid pasta and pizza and dessert. Those are all bad foods.
Actually,
Chips, chocolate, cookies, soda pop, French fries, poutine. Oh, I want poutine. Oh, and French fries, and candy, and cookies.
what you're experiencing right now, Katie, is actually why making peace with food is so important.
What do you mean?
Studies indicate that when we restrict certain foods, our cravings for them increase, and we actually end up eating more of those foods. We think we're doing right by ourselves and our bodies by making junk foods or high-calorie foods off limits, but that actually only makes them seem more appealing to us. And so, when our bodies can't handle the restrictions anymore, we feel compelled to eat all the food.
If I eat all these cookies at the same time, does that just count as one cookie?
In our intuitive eating video on principle number 2, honor your hunger, we chatted about how not responding to our hunger cues can make you overeat because your body fears starvation. But this sense of deprivation doesn't just come from our physical hunger. It can also come from our mindset, from us telling ourselves we can't have certain foods.
Oh, Katie, you shouldn't be eating these. Okay, fine. You can have a couple tonight, but then tomorrow you'll be good. No more cookies.
Our body feels compelled to eat everything we're telling it is bad because it knows the next week or next day or next meal we're going to be banning certain foods. This is its last chance to get in as many of those bad foods as it can.
These can't be in the house tomorrow. Must eat all the cookies.
We end up eating way more of these off-limits foods than is comfortable or enjoyable because we know we won't be able to have them for a long time.
Oh God, did I eat all the cookies?
But what happens then? Do we actually avoid eating every single junk food for the rest of our lives? No. Eventually, a certain bad food simply looks too yummy, or we can't handle the deprivation anymore, and the cycle repeats itself.
Well, this feels terrible. But what am I supposed to do instead?
You start removing the morality around food and give yourself permission to eat all foods.
All foods?
All foods.
But if I let myself eat cookies, I'll eat all the cookies. But like all the time, I'll just eat cookies all the time.
Maybe for a bit, but eventually, cookies are going to seem a whole lot less appealing. They lose that glam factor they have when they're this forbidden food you're supposed to avoid. They're just cookies, a food you can have anytime you want. But ultimately, having them for breakfast, lunch, and dinner might not feel so good. You might find you get headaches or low energy from all the sugar, and you might find yourself genuinely craving vegetables.
That doesn't sound like me.
Your body knows what it needs, and when we stop giving certain foods power over us, they become just another food. By taking away those external rules and restrictions and getting in touch with your own internal cues, you can end up with a much more balanced and enjoyable way of eating. This means you're able to eventually choose more nutrient-rich whole foods because you want to, not because you should, and to actually truly enjoy other foods just for fun.
I want that, but how?
Well, first off, start noticing those times you're judging yourself for your food choices or feeling guilty about something you ate. What's that about? Remember that a food choice does not make you good or bad, and that seeing certain foods as forbidden is only going to make you want to eat them more and make you feel out of control around them.
Where'd I put that second batch of cookies? Oh, right.
Secondly, it's time to start incorporating those foods you've labeled as bad. You know the ones. The ones you say you can't control yourself around. It's time to start incorporating those into your life on a regular basis. This, of course, doesn't include foods that you know you're allergic to or that you don't feel comfortable eating due to ethical or religious reasons. It's best to do this one food at a time so your brain and taste buds aren't overwhelmed. Let's say you've had a bad relationship with a certain brand of chips. It's time to start keeping that particular brand of chips in your home all the time. And remind your brain that you're allowed to eat them whenever you want.
That sounds like crazy talk.
It does, I know. At first, after so much time restricting, you might find yourself eating a lot more than is comfortable. The important thing here is to really give yourself permission to eat that food whenever you want. And also, to be present with the experience. Taste it, savor it, enjoy it. You aren't doing anything bad, so really let yourself experience that food.
Well, that sounds fun.
This part of intuitive eating is a lot of fun. You get to eat all those foods you've been scared of for so long. But it can also be overwhelming. You're learning to eat foods guilt-free that you've been scared of and avoiding for years. That doesn't happen overnight.
It doesn't? Ugh, the effort.
If you need any support, my Work With Me page is linked below. I'm always happy to help you out. That's it for today. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up to show us your support. Next video, I'll tell you about how I made peace with my fear food, chocolate. See you then.
These are good cookies. Like